Hey folks, this is Kelani. Seeing as most of you should be getting your hands on a full set of tier 20 right about now, let's have a chat about how you should be playing to get the most out of your marksmanship hunter with the current tier gear in the Tomb of Sargeras and everywhere else. The first thing I want to touch on is stats. Things haven't really changed all that much. We're still going to want mastery as our best stat, followed pretty closely by crit. After those you'll want haste, and in last place is versatility. There is a bit of a sweet spot when it comes to haste, which is around the 10% mark, which is nice to have, but it's not a strict requirement. That means if you get it with your best gear, that's fantastic, but you shouldn't be dropping item levels just to get the 10% haste. If you want personal stat weights for your character so you never have to ask if gear is an upgrade, I would recommend you download Simulation Craft and learn how to use it, or you can use raidbots.com to cut out a lot of the work for you. Now, when it comes to trinkets, you should have your eye on quite a few from the Tomb of Sargeras. Our best trinket comes from Sisters of the Moon, the Tarnished Sentinel Medallion. Currently, this trinket is pretty crazy for almost everyone who can use it. That means you'll have a lot of competition, and it might actually get changed or nerfed at some point if it stays too strong. The medallion is incredibly powerful even at lower item levels, so picking one up is a huge power boost almost no matter which difficulty it comes from. The other trinkets to look out for in order of power would be the Engine of Eradication from Maiden of Vigilance, the Cradle of Anguish from the Demonic Inquisition, and finally the Terror from Below from Mistress Sazine. These three are a lot closer in value when compared to the medallion, so usually if you have one which is a higher item level, it would outperform the others. The engine does require you to move around a little bit to get the most out of it, which can interrupt your rotation, especially if you aren't all that comfortable with it, and the Cradle of Anguish relies on you staying above 50% health. If you aren't all that great at mechanics, you're going to lose a lot of value out of it, so keep that in mind. It's worth noting that the Convergence of Fates trinket from Elisand in Nighthold is still incredibly powerful, so if you have one, make sure to sim it against any new trinkets you get, as they might not be an upgrade if they are below 920 item level. So let's talk legendaries. We have quite a few you'll want in your arsenal. The snowshoes are still the best legendary we have, giving us more frequent access to our only DPS cooldown. They should be used in both single target and AoE scenarios. Our new ring, the Soul of the Huntmaster, is our best single target focused legendary. It allows us to use both lock and load and true aim talents, giving our single target damage a significant boost. It's also very useful for BM, so that's nice. The Mark II gloves are a close runner-up for the single target damage, so if you don't have the ring, you'll want to use the gloves. They also come in pretty handy when you need to move a lot in specific encounters. The best AoE legendary is still the War Belt, which allows you to get some huge damage from cleave or AoE fights. If you have all the legendaries, you would typically run Boots and Ring for single target and Boots and Belt for AoE. Now let's move on to talents. This will obviously depend on which legendaries are available to you. For single target encounters like Goroth, you would want to take Lone Wolf, True Aim, Patient Sniper, a Murder of Crows, and Trick Shot. For any AoE fights, you would take Lone Wolf, Lock and Load, Patient Sniper, Volley, and Trick Shot, assuming you are using the War Belt legendary. If you don't have access to the War Belt, you will probably fare better with the meme build: Lone Wolf, Lock and Load, Explosive Shot, Volley, and Piercing Shot. Your general thought process should be, will I use multi-shot on this fight? If yes, take an AoE build. If no, take the single target build. So with all that in place, how do the tier 20 set bonuses change how we play? The 2 set encourages us to pair our aim shots and rewards us with a 6-second buff which increases our critical strike damage by 15%. That means when we go into a vulnerable window, we need enough focus to be able to cast 2 aim shots before it ends. Typically this would be around the 70 focus mark, to allow us to mark shot, arcane shot, aim shot, and that's our typical vulnerable window. If we open the window with Windburst, we don't really need to pull as much focus, as we can Windburst, Arcane Shot, aim shot without any focus troubles, even if we start with pretty low focus. The tier 24 set makes this even easier. Whenever we cast aim shot, we get an 8% focus cost and cast time reduction on future aim shots, and the buff lasts for 6 seconds. So if we can cast 1 aim shot every 6 seconds, which we should be, the buff is basically permanent. The 4 set just makes our rotation faster and easier, which is always nice. With 4 set, our opener and rotation would look something like this. We'd start with Crows into Windburst and True Shot, then 2 aim shots, Arcane Shot, and 2 more aim shots. Arcane Shot back up to about 60 focus, Marked Shot, Arcane Shot twice, and then 3 aim shots. After True Shot is over, you would go back to your normal rotation of Marked Shot at 70 focus, Arcane Shot, aim shot, and if Windburst is available, Windburst, Arcane Shot, aim shot. The rotation is pretty straightforward. There shouldn't be too much deviation from those 2 scenarios. If you Bloodlust at the start, you want to get as many aim shots into True Shot as possible without focus capping, making sure to hit 2 to 4 aim shots towards the end of Vulnerable because of Patient Sniper. For AoE, things play out pretty much exactly the same if you have the belt, except you replace Arcane Shot with Multi-Shot. If you don't have the belt and you're stuck playing the meme build, that's still pretty easy too. You want to keep Explosive Shot on cooldown, Piercing Shot on cooldown, but make sure you have 100 focus and the target is vulnerable, and then you just spend any Marked Shot procs you have. Aim Shot when you have no procs, and make sure to keep everything else on cooldown. During True Shot, you'd just spam Multi-Shot and Marked Shot after using Explosive Shot and Piercing Shot. Seeing as you don't use Aim Shot all that much, Tier 24 set isn't required and can be replaced by better itemized gear. So, that should be all you need to get the most out of your Marksmanship Hunter right now for the current patch. Go pwn some Tomb of Sargeras bosses and get some shiny loot. If you have any questions or queries, please leave them in the comment section below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible, or hop on over to Discord. We have a server at discord.gg/Kelani, great place to come ask questions or just hang out. Remember to leave a like just below the video before you leave, and if you want to see more, make sure to subscribe. But apart from that, thanks for watching folks, good luck and have fun, and as always I will see you next time.